Got it. Okay, awesome. So welcome to Nutrition for Life at Home. I am Stephanie May. I am the campus dietitian. I hope everyone is enjoying their time home, making the most of the time at home. But, with the change of routine, with, you're not going to work or class, it really does impact your choices because you're under a different environment. You might be more stressed. So today we're going to talk about kind of things that you can do at home to fuel your immune system, to help make sure that you are keeping yourself sharp, fueling your body, fueling your mind, and the things you can do to prevent boredom. So let's get started. There we go. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, kind of finding a new routine and then again, managing that boredom. So the first thing is strengthening your immune system. Now there's a lot of things out there that I've seen on social media and online that says if you buy this supplement or if you buy this shake or this drink, it will boost your immune system. Just want to let you know there's no such thing as an immune system booster. There's no one food that's going to give you that boost and help you fight off germs and bacteria. It's about your lifestyle. So it really just starts with good nutrition and good hygiene. So I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times, but I'm going to start this webinar off with a safety moment. Wash your hands, and not just washing your hands for a couple of seconds. Really do a full 20 seconds with warm water, with soap, and really scrub and move your hands around and just get the most you can off your hands because that is one way to prevent germs from going into your mouth. The next thing is you want to make sure you're giving your body the building blocks that it needs to help build your immune system, strengthen your muscles, and the rest of your metabolism and your organs. So thinking about food, like I said, there isn't one specific food that boosts your immune system. It's the culmination of all foods, and we're going to go over some of those options right here. So the first thing is protein. Right? Protein is the building blocks of your body. So when protein breaks down, it breaks down into amino acids, right? And those amino acids get broken down and then they get rebuilt and paired together to help strengthen your immune system and create red blood cells and white blood cells and antibodies. And so that's why making sure you're having enough protein in your body is really important. And remembering to focus on food first. There are plenty of bars and shakes and all sorts of stuff out there, but food is what you want to choose first because food is that complete package, right? It has everything you need and then some, so vitamins and minerals. So ideally, you're thinking anywhere between 20 and 30 grams per meal, which if you hold your palm up, it's just the size of your palm. So one little piece of chicken. If you're choosing a plant-based protein, you're going to want a little bit more than your palm just because those fibers and plant-based proteins tend to kind of bind the protein up a little bit. So you want to just give your body all that you can. So aiming for 20 to 30 grams is really all you need. If you think about the typical American diet, meat is the center of the plate. That's not necessarily what you want. You just want to keep your, 20 to 30 grams, which is only the size of your palm. You do not need a whole chicken breast or a whole fillet of salmon, right? Just a little bit is really all you need. And then for snacks, you want to make sure that you're including anything from maybe 5, 10, maybe 15 grams of protein per snack. So that would be something like a cheese stick, some yogurt, roasted edamame, or the frozen edamame you put in the microwave, right? Anything that has a little bit of protein, because it does a couple of things. One, it helps to give your body the building block that it needs, but protein also keeps you full longer, right? So if you're just snacking on crackers or animal crackers or pretzels in the afternoon, you're going to be more hungry because carbohydrates are broken down very quickly. Whereas if you pair that protein and carbohydrate together, protein helps to slow down that digestion and helps you to stay full and more satisfied for longer. So in terms of what protein you choose, it doesn't really matter. The answer is just variety because every protein offers something different. So there's animal proteins, which, chicken, turkey, beef, eggs, yogurt, that sort of stuff, or your plant proteins, things like tofu, edamame, nuts and seeds are all great options. Especially if you're stuck in the house, nuts and seeds are great things to snack on, and we'll talk about some snack options in just a little bit. So the first vitamin I want to talk about is vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential in that white blood cell production, and that is kind of your army for your immune system, right? So you want to make sure you're giving your little army all the fuel that it needs to make sure it's able to fight off germs. So there's two types of vitamin A. The first is preformed vitamin A, which typically comes from animal foods or vitamin supplements, right? And so that's where it goes into your body as vitamin A and your body uses it right away. And then there's the carotenoids. So those are your plant-based vitamin A. So think about like beta carotene would be a carotenoid, and that is ingested into your body as pre-vitamin A or a precursor, and then is converted to vitamin A for your body to use. So they're both really, really beneficial. And most foods that are orange, yellow, green even contain vitamin A. So that's why, I know my grandma always like, eat your carrots because it'll help your eyes. Yes, carrots help your eyes. They're a great source of vitamin A, but really anything that is green, yellow, or orange will have some vitamin A in it. Vitamin C, this is a big one. A lot of students have been asking me about vitamin C. What are the best sources? And I want to clear the air and say that oranges are not the best source of vitamin C. Yes, they're a good source. Bell peppers are actually the best source of vitamin C. Adding those different colors in for the bell peppers, they are just a great source of vitamin C. But again, you don't want to just include it in your diet when you're feeling sick. Making sure you're eating lots of vitamin C-based foods throughout the day. So everything from tomatoes to greens and peppers and herbs all have great vitamin C. Even lemon, right? If you squeeze lemon juice into your water, great sources of vitamin C, great antioxidants to help to support your immune system cells. Because if you think about it, I think about it like an army, right? If your army of white blood cells is fighting the army of germs, there's going to be toxins and things that are released, and those antioxidants help to kind of smother those and make sure they don't do more damage in your body. So constantly kind of eating vitamin C and other antioxidant sources of foods will help your body and support your immune system, hopefully to win that fight. So vitamin E is another antioxidant, so it helps to support your immune system and really gives it the oomph that it needs to attack those germs. So vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, so it's found in foods that have more fat to them. So think about nuts and seeds, oils, peanut butters, those sorts of things will be better sources of vitamin E. Some people will take vitamin E supplements. Typically, as long as you have a well-rounded diet, you don't need that vitamin E supplement. Just making sure that you're sticking to food first and including it every day, you'll have no problem getting that vitamin E in there. And again, it's an antioxidant along with vitamin C and vitamin A to help attack those germs and really shut them down. So vitamin D, this is a big one. Vitamin D is the vitamin that we ingest through food, but we also can make it with our bodies. So when sunlight hits your skin, it converts cholesterol, and then it goes through this whole process through your kidneys and your liver, and the next day you've got vitamin D in your body. So your body can actually make vitamin D, which is really cool. But most of us are deficient in vitamin D, right? And why is that? If you think about it, if vitamin D is made in our skin when sunlight hits our skin, where do we spend most of our day nowadays? We're inside, right? So the sun can't hit our skin. If we are outside, we're wearing a lot of sunblock, or maybe we're walking in the early morning or the evening when it's not as bright out, right? All it takes is 15 to 20 minutes for the sun to hit your skin, and you have made enough vitamin D. So really just making sure that if you're going to go outside for a couple minutes at least, let the sun hit your skin, and then go back in and put your protective sunscreen on or your long sleeve shirts. It's harder in the winter and springtime when it's always cloudy. That's another drawback. If any of you are in the north, so I'm originally from New York, so my family, most of them are vitamin D deficient because it rains or snows most of the year. Right, so we're either inside or we're covered up, so just putting you again at risk for vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D helps to strengthen your immune system and also a key factor in your bone and muscle health. So making sure that you are getting outside, getting sunshine when you can, and this is something where if you do go to the doctor and have blood work done, always have them check your vitamin D. Probiotics. This is a really, really important one. So there is so much research that's coming out in just the past couple of years talking about probiotics and how they are linked to our bodies and what they do for us. So for the longest time, we just thought that there were these little pets that we didn't ask for. They lived in our lower colon and they ate our fiber, and that was that. And that's not it at all. Probiotics do so much for our body. They help to keep the mucus lining in our GI tract nice and healthy, so no bacteria can penetrate and get through our system. They help us to break down fiber, so we don't technically digest fiber. Fiber either goes through our body and helps to sweep us out, or it absorbs things like cholesterol or waste products and excretes it out. But those bacteria actually break down fiber, which helps us in our lower GI tract. They make some vitamins and minerals for us, and they also communicate with our brain. So there's a lot of research that's coming out looking at the connection between the gut-brain axis, so the communication between your gut and your brain. So am I hungry? Awesome. And then feedback to your brain, right? Those hunger cues, a lot is connected to the bacteria, them releasing serotonin, which is that relaxing chemical. So making sure you're keeping their army strong will also help to keep your immune system strong. So including foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, kombucha, anything that's fermented. So if you are pickling or jarring things at home, a lot of fermented foods will have bacteria, because that's what is fermenting the food. But the one thing to remember is you can have probiotics in your system, right? Those healthy bacteria, but you have to remember to feed them and water them. Like I said, they're the pet you never asked for, but you still have to feed and water them, right? So you have to feed them with lots of fiber. And then you have to make sure you're drinking a lot of water to get that fiber down to them, make sure that they are staying, nice and liquefied, because your colon draws out a lot of water, so it tends to be dry. You want them to help and keep that mucous membrane nice and moist. So giving them water and lots of fiber from whole grains, fruits, and vegetables will help to keep them nice and healthy. So onto water, hydration. This is key. Drinking enough water throughout the day. I always recommend keeping a water bottle next to your computer, next to your laptop, your textbooks. Keep it as a challenge, right? So create a game for yourself where you take a sip every time you turn the page of reading a book, or every time you get an email, or every time you're tempted to go on social media, right? Take a couple sips of water. Try to encourage yourself, make it a game to drink more water throughout the day. It used to be you want to do 8 glasses of 8 ounces throughout the day, and we really need a lot more than that. And everyone is so different, right? What if you're 5'2"? What if you're 6'4"? You're telling me that 8 glasses covers both spectrums, right? So you want to make sure that you are drinking to your thirst. Right, so if you are thirsty, you are already dehydrated, right? So you don't want to get to that point. So making sure you're sipping throughout the day will allow your body to absorb the water, versus if you're just kind of gulping water at meals, your kidneys basically say, there's a lot of water in our system right now, and you have to go to the bathroom more often. So that sipping throughout the day is really the key there. And the next thing is adding variety, right? So water can get boring. So adding frozen fruit to your water, drinking seltzer, even things like coffee and tea, you can drink those throughout the day to get some hydration in. As long as water is your base for your hydration and you're adding a couple of things on top, that's great. Fruits and vegetables are hydrating, right? There's a lot of different things that can really help you with hydration. So just some tips. Keep your bottle next to your bed. As soon as you wake up, you've got water and you're kind of starting to sip then, right? Because if you wait a while to get breakfast, or maybe you take a bit in your bed before you go downstairs, those are hours you could be missing out on hydration. So trying to keep up on your hydration can really help with that. And then just eating your fruits and vegetables. So that's a great way to add in more hydration, electrolytes, and vitamins and minerals. There we go. So the next thing we're going to talk about is finding a new routine. So you're home more now, you may be living with parents, families, friends, roommates, you're kind of stuck at home. So finding a new routine is really, really important. And by now you might have settled into one a couple weeks in, or you still might be trying to tweak it a little bit. So finding a routine when it comes to your nutrition is just as important. A lot of students have been emailing me asking about boredom eating and what they can do to really stop boredom eating or prevent themselves from eating. And the first thing you can do is ask yourself, why are you snacking? Right? Are you stressed? Are you avoiding classwork or work? Are your meals on balance? So if you just ate lunch but you're hungry again, did you eat enough? Did you have enough carbohydrates to fuel your brain? Is there enough protein on that plate to keep you full, right? So thinking about that plate breakdown can be really helpful too. And then the last thing is dehydration. So if you're not drinking enough, your body will want you to take in more water and kind of cue you not only through thirst, but through food. So you will be more hungry. So thinking about staying hydrated helps there as well. And then getting back into a routine. So set yourself up from day to day. You know, waking up at normal times can kind of set you on that right track. So start your day. Wake up about the same time every day. I'm not saying you have to set your alarm for really, really early in the morning, but have a consistent time. Maybe it's between 7 and 8 or 8 and 9. You know, give yourself a little window where you have to get out of bed and start your day. Starting with hydration, talk about this a lot. Really, really important for your immune system, but just your overall health. It gives your body that blood volume it needs to carry your immune cells to, you know, where the infection is or where the germs are so they can kind of destroy them. Eating breakfast. This is a big one. I get a lot of things when I work with students on campus to say, you know, I don't like breakfast, I'm not hungry in the morning. You have to fuel your brain is usually my answer. Is you are here as a student. If you're a student athlete, or if you're someone who works out a lot, you not only are fueling your brain, but you're also fueling your muscles and your bones and your recovery. So making sure that you're eating something in the morning will help. And this doesn't mean that you have to do eggs and omelets or oatmeal. It could be something as simple as a handful of trail mix. It could be something as easy as some leftovers, right? And so we'll talk about some more examples for that. And then setting goals for your day, first thing in the morning. So do you have classwork or assignments? Are you trying to get exercise in? If you're not exercising, make sure you schedule time or make time for movement. Whether you're walking around your house or vacuuming or walking your dog or just doing something, get up out of your chair for a little bit. And then making time for self-care. So whether it's, you know, reading a book, turning off technology, do something that you enjoy just to give something back to yourself. So what can breakfast look like, right? So when you are someone, if you don't like early morning breakfast or if you don't like big breakfast in the morning, you've got a couple of options. So you can always do a small breakfast, and that's really easy and digestible. Maybe it's a piece of fruit and some peanut butter or trail mix or a frozen waffle with sunflower butter on it. Just something that's really, really easy and digestible. Even liquids like smoothies tend to go down much easier than a more heavy meal. If you are a breakfast person, you know, a bigger breakfast with eggs and toast can really help you set up for the day. And the last option is non-traditional breakfast, right? If you can have breakfast for dinner, why can't you have lunch or dinner for breakfast, right? So what's stopping you from having leftovers or having a turkey sandwich or cheese or soup for breakfast? Absolutely nothing, right? So you can have those for breakfast and really start your day the way you want to. As long as you're giving your body some good protein, complex carbs, and some fruits and veggies, your body has no idea if it's a breakfast food or a dinner food. So fueling the rest of your day, right? So when you're trying to think about what to eat for lunch and dinner, there are a couple of things you want to abide by. One is increasing your vegetable intake the best you can. One way to do that is try to add diversity to your plate. So add a lot of color on that plate. I typically choose the number 4. Try to add 4 different colors on your plate. So if you can get, like, for example, these tacos, if you can get a white from the taco and the black from black beans and red from tomato and green from guacamole, there's so many different colors on that plate. Great nutrient density or vitamin and mineral density there. The next is adding fruit. So especially dark fruits like berries, whether very, very dark in color, cherries, great sources of antioxidants that will help your immune system fight off germs. Adding in protein. So again, a mixture of both plant and animal protein. So if you want bean tacos or tofu tacos or shrimp or chicken, whatever works for you. Including fat in your diet is important because fat helps you to, one, repair any damage that's in your body, but it also helps you absorb your fat-soluble vitamins. So vitamin A, vitamin E, which we talked about earlier, antioxidants. Vitamin D helps support your immune system, your bones, and your muscles, and then vitamin K. Right, so without your fat, you can't effectively absorb those that are in the food, so making sure that you're getting those can be really important. So adding in heart-healthy fats, things with lots of antioxidants can be helpful, or omega-3s can be helpful there. And then lastly is whole grains. So I get this question, probably if I had a frequently asked question page, this would be on it, is it okay for me to eat white bread? The answer is yes, absolutely yes. You want to choose whole grains the most you can because you will get more fiber and vitamins and minerals. But if you prefer white bread, that's fine. You're just missing out on some fiber and vitamins and minerals. So how do you make up for that? You make sure that you have enough vegetables and fruits on your plate. So you make up for that fiber, you add in more fruits and veggies there. If you're someone who doesn't really love fruits and vegetables, I always recommend choosing whole grain most of the time. But if you're someone who has a lot of fruits and vegetables on your plate, I think having a sourdough bread or a white wrap or Italian bread is no big deal. It doesn't set you back at all. It's just, again, more variety within your diet. Snacks. So this is something where getting back to boredom eating, listening to your body is key. There is no app, there is no program, macro, whatever it is that can tell you how much you should eat in a day. It is really up to you to determine your hunger cues. You might be moving more one day and sitting more the next. So if you are moving more, if you're getting more exercise because you don't really have much to do, you will need to eat more and you'll be hungrier. So listening to those hunger cues. If you're really unsure and you can't decide if you're hungry or you're bored, my recommendation is have a glass of water so you're hydrated. Take 10 or 15 minutes and go organize your room or read another chapter or just go for a walk. If you're hungry, then eat. That you're definitely hungry. You don't want to push off hunger because that's your body asking for fuel so it can fight the germs and rebuild muscle and support your brain and your bones. So listen to your body. If you're hungry, eat something. If you're unsure, pause, wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then go and kind of answer that question for yourself. When you're building a snack, we talked about this pretty early, but you want to make sure that you're having those two components. You have that protein, which will help to keep you full longer because it slowly breaks down, so that's your long-term energy. And you're going to pair that with a whole grain of fruit or a vegetable, which is that quick energy, right? So thinking about things like a cheese stick and pretzels or an apple and peanut butter, those sorts of things will great paired together because you have the quick energy that gives you energy right now and the long-term energy that gives you energy later. So they work together really, really well. So some things to remember is there's no such thing as a perfect eating day. I think, I want to add this in because we just give ourselves so much stress when it comes to food. I can't have this, I can't have that, I can have that, but I can't have it now, right? Or that's tomorrow. And just give yourself a break. Take some stress off your plate. Don't worry so much about being that perfect, eater every day. Listen to your hunger cues. Think about your hunger level when you're eating. Stay hydrated and just trust your body. Your body knows exactly what it needs throughout the day to keep it satisfied. And if you're craving something, work with that craving. If you've met with me one-on-one and we've talked about cravings, my theory of the inner toddler. I firmly believe that deep down in all of us, we all have a toddler. And whenever we tell that toddler no, it screams yes, 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 and it normally gets what it wants and then some, right? So thinking about the craving, if you want cake or cookies or ice cream or chips or whatever your kind of thing that you love is, and then you say, no, I can't have that, your inner toddler is only going to say, no, I want this now and I want more of it, right? So you're going to overeat that thing. So the best thing you can do is work with that toddler and compromise. You want ice cream, fantastic. You can have one scoop of ice cream, but under that ice cream, you're going to put a bunch of fresh or frozen berries, right? So now not only does your meal or your snack have more antioxidants and fiber in it, but the portion looks bigger because you put that ice cream on top of berries, right? So that ice cream looks a little bit bigger in the bowl. So work with your toddler, work with your cravings, listen to your body, and, you know, just kind of work with yourself from day to day, because this isn't normal for anyone. You know, it's just a little, we're all changing and adapting from day to day. So just figuring out what you need can be really important there. So listen to your body. So I do want to open it up for questions. So I will unmute you all. Does anyone have any questions? No? Awesome. Well, I do want to, oop, was there a question? No? Awesome. Well, I do want to say thank you for joining on the call. You know, we went over a lot, but I think the key message is lifestyle, right? So everything's a little bit different now. Take a minute, you know, think about how you can strengthen your immune system, how you can get outside and get the vitamin D, but then also do the things you enjoy. If you love ice cream, have ice cream. If you want a cookie, have a cookie, right? Just find that balance within your life. But I appreciate y'all hopping on today. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me. My email address is right on this screen. I also started a campus dietitian Instagram account, which is fuelthetribe.rdsteph. So you can follow me on there. I'm always sharing tips and different things that I'm doing from home. But again, I really appreciate y'all coming. Have a great day.